Hey guys, tonight we're just tying a few bugs here at Spencer Higa's house, and I'm going to tie another chironomid pattern for you. It's a pattern that really kind of developed from another pattern. I was speaking with Ian Christie, who's a popular angler over there in the UK, and he was telling me about a few of his favorite chironomid patterns. And so, long story short, this is an offshoot of the traffic light chironomid pattern. And what I've got here is just black stretch flex tied in on the side. My thread's UTC 70 black, and my hook's a scud hook in size 10, but I've fished this in 12s and 14s, had some success with it. So what I'll do is I'll just go down maybe just past halfway down the bend. I'll come back up, making sure to keep a nice flat uniform body. Then I'll pull my stretch flex tight, keep some tension on there. Now as I come up, I'm leaving tiny little spaces there, you can see in the thread. And then as I come up, I'm slowly releasing tension. Okay? Until I get up right here at the top. I tie this piece of stretch flex off using 3 wraps to secure. Leave a little tag end here. That way my body, or my thorax is nice and uniform when I wrap forward. So then I just bring my thread forward here. You can see the stretch flex here as it stretches about twice its length. So should end up right here at the eye of the hook. Alright. Next step, tying my gills. Here I'm just using midge gill from Stillwater Solutions line of Stillwater fly tying materials. And I'm just going to figure 8 my gills in there. Fold them forward. And then I'll go back and tie in. You can see how I figure 8'd those gills in. Okay, so they're facing forward. They're on each side of the shank. Okay, and I'll explain to you why I like to do that here in a little bit. Next, I'm just going to cut a piece of ice blue tinsel, medium size. I'll go ahead and tie that in for my thorax cover. Tie that in on top. Next, I've got some holographic tinsel in cranberry from Ian Christie there at Flybox. Good little material to use. That'll go underneath my ice blue thorax cover, and I'll make sure it's just as centered as I can get it. Right there. And I'll go ahead and trim. And I'm going to clean up here. So I'll just form my thorax with thread. making sure to keep it nice and thin. You don't want it too fat, but you want it more pronounced than your abdomen. Okay. Make sure these are all forward here. I'll come back down, and then I take some rock hard, clear, brushable varnish, lacquer, cement, whatever. Also from Ian Christie at Flybox in the UK. And my first step here is I'm just going to barely put a little dab there on top, and then I'll begin to let that dry. Okay, once it's taken a few seconds to bind, to dry, to get sticky there, I'll fold that tinsel over, make a couple wraps, fold back, make a couple wraps, and trim. Okay. My next step is to then pull the ice blue over the red tinsel. Again, a couple of wraps in front and then fold back, and same thing. Alright, a couple more wraps there just to secure. Okay, keeping in mind this whole time that you want your chironomid to be thin and uniform, just like the natural. Okay, then I'll go ahead and take my whip finisher, trim that, trim my thread, trim my gills just past the eye of the hook, and then trim the ice blue thorax cover right there. Okay, so as you can see, you've got the red tinsel underneath the ice blue. Makes for a really cool effect here. I'm going to throw some Bug Bond on it. Bug Bond Light here, perfect for this stuff. Just throw a tiny bit there on top and along the body. I'll take my bodkin. Then I'll just go ahead and make sure it fills all of the gaps. Now hopefully you can see it here in this light. You should see some pronounced segmentation back here in the abdomen. Okay. Then when it comes up here to the thorax will be just a little bit fatter, but still slim nonetheless. Okay. Then next step after that is to treat it with my light. A magic wand here, lightsaber. Hopefully you can see that wing case there, how it really pops. And I could go fish it right now and totally catch fish with it, no problem. I've found Bug Bond alone is great, but just for a little bit more of an effect, I'm just gonna put some of that same varnish on the fly. This past fall I really started to fish this pattern and did quite well on it. It appears that these Utah trout in the high desert lakes of the West really aren't haters. They don't discriminate at all. They like the the UK, some of these UK fly patterns. So this pattern, as I said before, is kind of an offshoot of the traffic light chironomid. This one's called the Stealthbomber, just because of that. The body's real stealthy. And bomber, which is another name for chironomids that we see in the spring. So that's it. That's the Stealthbomber. Hope you enjoyed it. If you guys have any questions, obviously feel free to give us a shout out. falconsledge.com, outsmartingfish.com. Thanks for watching. Peanut butter jelly time. Peanut butter jelly time.